phone fans. I recently took a trip to my hometown where I watched some concerts, went to some amazing areas in America's Mountain West, and had a great time with my family. I brought along two phones with me. The Oneplus 6, a phone that doesn't seem to want to leave my side, or should I say that I don't want it to leave my side, and the new flagship Xiaomi Mi 8. Although I did plenty of comparisons for this video, and will include the usual side-by-side spec showcases, I'm not exactly going to grade these off each other so much, as I feel they are generally for different customers, so expect a little bit different style than my recent comparisons. My name is Adam, tech editor for Gizmo China, and I believe I've included plenty of information which can assist you in your buying decisions. Make sure to watch the whole video for results over 5 different sections that is sure to help you pick a favorite. The packaging and style from these two are similar and different at the same time. The OnePlus box is white with plenty of very bold red accents and a big shiny white on white 6 on the front, while the Xiaomi box is matte black with a large, shimmery, and colorful number 8. Inside, both have the phone, USB Type-C charging cables with fast chargers, and a protective case. The only additional item in the offering is that Xiaomi included a USB-C to 3.5mm dongle for wired audio, as the Mi 8 has no 3.5mm audio jack, whereas the OP6 still has the old school offering. Both phones come in multiple colors, with the OnePlus being Midnight Black, which I have here, Mirror Black, Silk White, and the Avengers Edition. The Mi 8 has black, blue, white, and gold color options. Some of the truly higher-end touches on the Xiaomi Mi 8 are the materials and finish. With an aluminum frame and Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, there's proof of its pedigree. As for the design of the OnePlus 6, it's about as good as it gets. The large screen looks absolutely fantastic with some of the smallest bezels all around. The notch houses face unlock tech, which has some style, and it's not very wide. The glass back still has that signature OnePlus shape. The design of this device looks and feels well made and premium. Here you can see the dimensions of the two devices, with the OP6 slightly larger in all dimensions than the Xiaomi Mi 8. The button layout is a bit different on these devices, with the power button on the right and dual SIM card locations on the left being the only similarities. Above the power button on the Mi 8 is the volume rocker, while the volume rocker resides just below the SIM tray on the OP6. Additionally, the OnePlus 6 still has the very unique sound mode slider above the power button on the right side. The main difference in overall layout is the rear camera location. The rear camera of the Xiaomi is placed in the corner, a la iPhone style, whereas the OnePlus 6 rear camera is smack dab in the upper middle, above the fingerprint reader. Both devices have a notch at the top of the display and a centrally located rear-facing fingerprint reader, allowing for some of the smallest bezels on the bottom front of the phone. Both have plenty of visual sensors and can do face unlocking. However, the OnePlus 6 unlocking is faster and works in near darkness, I found. Something the Mi 8 can do, but it's a little bit spotty at best. Both devices have a dual mic system for noise reduction and a single bottom speaker. Neither were very loud, so I'm going to skew the usual sound comparisons for this video. Let us know which design you prefer in the comments section, and don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. I think both manufacturers succeeded with their displays, as both are clear, bright, colorful, and generally without issue. The OnePlus 6 rocks a 6.28-inch AMOLED stunner, and the Xiaomi Mi 8 sporting a 6.21-inch Super AMOLED option with HDR10 for more dynamic range, making both more than comparable to others on the market. The OP6 is a 1080 by 2280 pixel 19 by 9 display that includes a smallish notch, while the Xiaomi has a 1080 by 2248 pixel screen with a wide style notch. Both devices include Gorilla Glass 5 and have excellent damage resistance for front-back glass devices. Now that we understand the designs, let's get onto the power behind it all. To be honest, they're pretty much the same. They both pack the Snapdragon 845 chipset with an octa-core Kirin CPU setup. For you game and video lovers out there, both come with a sweet Adreno 630 GPU, which is definitely going to push those frames extremely well. The only real difference, and this definitely shows up in the benchmarks, is the 6GB limit of RAM for the Xiaomi Mi 8, as opposed to the 8GB options for the OnePlus 6. One big new feature which applications should pick up as soon as possible is Xiaomi's inclusion of the new dual-band GPS in the Mi 8, an industry first. The OnePlus 6 comes with either 64GB with 6GB of RAM, and 128GB or 256GB with 8GB of RAM. The Xiaomi Mi 8 has 64GB, 128GB, 256GB storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM. Both devices do not offer expandable storage options. The Bluetooth and NFC offered is most similar, with both having Bluetooth 5.0, and both do not have wireless charging. Both offer speedy fast charging to full in less than 90 minutes with their included chargers, and both last all day long due to decent batteries. 3400 mAh battery on the Xiaomi and 3300 mAh on the Oneplus. I achieved very similar talk times with both devices, but it seems the Mi 8 has a slight edge here. As for pure numbers, I tested both devices using Antutu, and the results were along the lines of price paid. The OnePlus 6 scored a massive 290,058, and the Xiaomi Mi 8 scored 269,684. During the Xiaomi launch event, they showcased an Antutu score of over 300,000 with the Mi 8 Explorer Edition, so there's plenty to look forward to from the Mi 8. In real-world experience, playing games on either device is speedy and generally can be done at high frame rates. Watching or creating videos is done with ease for both devices, and I feel both of these phones have been optimized quite well. Let's see in the comments which you feel comes on top for power. If you're enjoying the Xiaomi Mi 8 versus OnePlus 6 comparison, make sure to press that like button. We'd love to hear your thoughts on which phone you prefer and why in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the Gizmo China channel for more smartphone and tech goodness. Both phones ship with Android 8.1 Oreo, where the differences occur is in the UI skins, with OnePlus keeping it simple yet powerful with their Oxygen OS 5.1.5 skin, and Xiaomi's MIUI 9.5 rising above many Android skins with slicked out designs of its own. Additionally, Xiaomi's new MIUI 10 is on the way soon, so look for that. Both offer a standard Android navigation bar option or a gesture option, and it's that secondary option where I use most while using both of these devices, as they're both so well implemented, although at the same time feeling a little bit different. Xiaomi's secondary input utilizes a gesture system similar to what iPhone X has with swipes from the sides and bottom to move you around. I found this incredibly satisfying and fluid and wish that my daily driver had the same. Just swiping left and right, go back and forth, and then up from the bottom to go back to the home screen. Swiping up from the bottom and holding takes you to multitasking, where you just simply flip apps off the screen or switch easily. I found also that the swiping animations are pretty fantastic on the Xiaomi Mi 8. The gesture system for OnePlus is similar, but in my opinion, not as good. Instead of swiping left or right to go back and forth, you swipe up from the sides of the bottom. I had a few misswipes because of this. Additionally, it's just less convenient than swiping on the side. When entering multitasking, there is also a noticeable pause with the OnePlus 6 that makes it feel less fluid than the Mi 8. The OnePlus 6 does include quite a few customizations, like being able to draw a letter on the lock screen to open certain actions that make use of the device feel more personal. I do prefer the home layout of the OnePlus 6 and find the multiple weather widget useful for a travel photographer like myself. It's simple, clean, and informative, while Xiaomi is more standard with the way apps are laid out on the screen. Call quality on both phones is what you'd expect from flagship type devices. Clean, clear sound, excellent voice transmission all around. While browsing the web, I also found no real differentiation using the same browser. Which user experience do you prefer? Both phones have some excellent camera options. Let's see which device packs the best photographic punch. Xiaomi highlights its Mi 8 with the same amazing camera module as the Mix 2S, with its fantastic, albeit somewhat common these days, dual camera system. That said, the phone's processing power, software, and options make this a great performer. Both cameras are 12 megapixel with one f1.8 and the telephoto camera being f2.4. On the front is a 20 megapixel camera that makes you feel like Xiaomi has seen the light on selfies. There are a few options and features which put this phone on a stratosphere beyond just about anything out there, such as the ability to control contrast, which opens a dynamic range, allowing for detailed creative editing and a more lifelike overall image. OnePlus has done something quite unique with its rear camera array. Most phones that have multiple cameras do so at different focal ranges, generally a normal and a telephoto camera for zooming. Well, OnePlus has the normal focal length 16 megapixel f1.7 main shooter with both optical and software image stabilization, and a second 20 megapixel shooter with the same focal length. Why would they do that, you ask? Well, the second camera is there to assist the main camera in most operations, and it does so quite well. The images taken in good lighting come out so sharp and clean, I'd swear they were taken on a DSLR. In low light, they still do quite well, but it falls back to the pack a little bit. On the front is an excellent 16 megapixel shooter that is wonderful for all you selfie fans. Most of the options are there, including Beautify. Both have very clean user interfaces, while the OnePlus 6 reaches a level of sophistication I've yet to see on a smartphone. Its modes are so well laid out and easy to use, it'll be a surprise if others don't soon try to emulate its design. OnePlus offers only video, photo, or portrait modes up front, but a quick swipe up and you'll add slow motion, pro, time-lapse, panorama, and now Google Lens modes on their main camera menu. While Xiaomi has short video, photo, portrait, square, panorama, and manual modes on their main camera menu. For each phone, the associated settings menu is different depending on which mode you're in, with most settings on screen for the OnePlus 6 and most settings in a settings menu for the Xiaomi. Video mode is a large differentiator in my opinion, as the Xiaomi Mi 8 still offers only 30 frames per second at 1080p or 4K, and optical stabilization on only 1080p, with the OnePlus 6 throwing in 60 frames per second with optical stabilization in both 1080p and 4K. I found the image stabilization to be excellent on both devices in normal use and should really make for some fantastic videos. Slow-mo is a feature I tend to enjoy and sometimes overdo, but these cameras don't disappoint. Both go 240 frames per second at 1080p, while the OnePlus 6 will go 480 frames per second in 720p. These both make amazing slow-mo vids. Both are pretty clean, smooth, and well processed, and generally look pretty good. Another video feature I use often is time-lapse, so I tried with these devices. The Mi 8 has a ton of timing options, and in the end came out with a beautiful and smooth video, while the OnePlus was good, but just not as smooth as the Mi 8. Both of these device camera systems are very well equipped and also have some very standout features. When it comes down to pure image quality and setup, I know which one I'd choose. Which is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Now that we've compared the design, display, power, experience, and camera, we have some good ideas on which device is ahead of the other in most ways. However, the Xiaomi Mi 8 can be found for 50 to 60% the price of the OnePlus 6, making it a very budget-friendly flagship. For me, the winner of this comparison has a user experience that's nearly perfect, with a design that stuns, power to do just about anything, knockout display, and one of the best smartphone cameras I've ever used. In fact, I took the OnePlus 6 everywhere I went during my vacation. I took the Xiaomi Mi 8 only when I was doing tests. Picking the right phone for you will come down to which of these features you feel you need for your budget. I know which one I prefer. How about you?